absolute horror. That is what I captured for you and what I witnessed firsthand on November 6th and 7th in Edgewood, British Columbia at Universal Ostrich Farms. The farmers, their loved ones, their neighbors and supporters screaming through the evening as hundreds of bullets riddled through the night, impaling what was their healthy, vibrant flock of over 300 ostriches.
What some of the supporters are seeing, and I'm going to make a phone call to Katie's cousin, who is also breaking. It sounds as though gunshots are being heard at the pen.
My birds are getting shot slowly and dying. They're suffering. They're not getting shot in the head. They're not doing it humanely.
The CFIA, Canadian Food Inspection Agency, under the Liberal government, hired professional marksmen to corner these ostriches in droves into a pen and hunt them down. Many of you saw some of the horrific footage from that night. It symboled the end of the Save the Ostriches battle and the beginning of avenging the ostriches. I'm Drea Humphrey with Rebel News, and to start that at our special website called AvengeTheOstriches.com. Today I interview a whistleblower of sorts who was brought to my attention by Sean Rickard, a Canadian businessman who's still challenging the federal government over COVID-19 overreach. This whistleblower, whom I identified, is a seasoned person in the industry who will be keeping anonymous, who is an expert when it comes to culling. He is going to speak to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency's claims that what they did on that night was humane. Here's what he has to say. Tell us why it was so important for you to come forward with what you're feeling and what you believe.
When I saw what happened, having such experience in the industry, I knew that there was no way it was humane. It was done at night under floodlight, and those animals would have been running around. Normally, when you euthanize an animal, you have it in a confined space. Some animals do get stressed, but you normally have it confined where it can't run around or move consistently, because if you don't get a direct shot, you don't euthanize the animal instantly. To put two guys in towers, as I believe it, and just take random shots at an ostrich is not fair. An ostrich runs at, I think it's 43 or 45 miles an hour. I don't believe there's any marksman in the world that would get a direct hit into the brain of an animal that's running 43 to 45 miles an hour, with an ostrich head being probably 10 square centimeters. And it just outraged me.
And in your expert opinion, could you please describe what you think would have been the most humane way to have gone ahead and done this?
The most humane way would have been to round all the animals up, put them in through a shed and walk them through a crack, like you do with most animals when you drench them or you shorn them, and then put the bag over the head, walk them into a confined area, and then put a euthanasia gun directly on the head. Pull the trigger. One shot. Bang. Dead. You wouldn't take your pet dog or your cow to a place and let someone take 4 or 5 shots and putting it to sleep. When you take your dog to the vet, they give an injection. That's humane. When you put a cow down on a farm, you shoot it in the head. That's humane. When you slaughter meat for human consumption, you shoot it once straight into the brain. That's humane. You would not stand a cow out on a farm and say, we're going to eat it, and just take 9 or 10 shots at it and hope you hit a bottle open and kill it.
What can you say about how fast it was done? Everything I had researched ahead of time indicated this was going to take a while. I would say it probably took around 6 hours for them to go ahead and slaughter hundreds of ostriches. Do you make anything of that?
No, that was not the quickest and most humane way to do it. I think it was done as a message to serve a lot of people. I think there will be more to come when they start looking at poultry. And also the other thing is, I don't really notice ostriches are not poultry. They are red meat. There is a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what the farmers tried to argue. Even our Canadian government specifies that, yet the CFIA would not budge when it came to these healthy ostriches.
This is definitely planned because they said that, for starters, the appeals court wouldn't even look at it. They kicked it out before they got there. And why wouldn't the CFIA let the people retest it? That would be like saying, sorry, your dad's got cancer and then we can give him MAID. And you say, well, let's get a second opinion. And they say, oh no, we just can give him MAID. So sad. Too bad he's dead now. You don't do that. You just don't do that.
Now you're an expert. You've come forward. What can you tell us? Is it just you, or do you know that other people in the industry are feeling the exact same way?
People that own slaughterhouses are outraged as well, but they cannot be seen to come forward. The CFIA can shut them down. And as we know, if you go against a government in this country, you tend to not do very well in the future.
Well, again, I thank you so much for your bravery for coming forward. We will, of course, conceal and protect your identity. Very important information. Humane or horrific? You tell me in the comments whose side of this story you believe. I'm Drea Humphrey with Rebel News, and you can support our ongoing investigation into the Canadian Food Inspection Agency's handling of this so-called cull at avengetheostriches.com. We appreciate your support.